Hey everybody, Stock Catcher here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some more potential stocks. If you're new to the channel, I highly recommend you hit subscribe and join the team. This week, in terms of small caps, it was definitely more choppier. There was a lot more knives. There was a lot more selling going on compared to the long side, right? This was probably due, in my opinion, because this was earnings. This is earnings season, right? A lot of attention is on large caps. A lot of volume is on large caps, and a lot of big money is flowing into these type of sectors, right? As well as the SPY S&P was really selling off really hard, this week. And I think that the coming week is going to be a lot better opportunity for small cap. And that doesn't mean that there's going to be no opportunity, right? No matter how slow it is, no matter how choppy it is, I always manage to find opportunity, always manage to find trade ideas. This week, there was actually 1,000% runner, as well as every single day, there were multiple plays that ended up going up 50%, 100%, 150%. So this week, we're going to capitalize as well. So first stock for the video that I highly, recommend you look into would be Beyond Meat. And I know Beyond Meat actually has been selling off pretty hard recently. If you look up the chart, the technical chart, Beyond Meat has been selling off from that initial high, which was close to $9 a share. Beyond Meat, this started to slowly starting to break out of that downtrend. If you look at the 1 hour chart, you want to see close over 150. And right now, actually, Beyond Meat actually has a big catalyst coming up, which would be earnings, right? Earnings is actually on Monday, which is not long from now. I was looking online a bit about how JP Morgan also has a position on Beyond Meat. And I said in my previous video, right? When a big company, when a large cap, when somebody with notable amount of presence takes a position on a company, when we're talking about smaller companies, right, it's actually a good thing. Or even larger companies, actually a really good thing. And one thing that I noticed about Beyond Meat is that the official Reddit actually opened just before the weekend. And this is a significant thing because when you're talking about these type of stocks like Beyond Meat, GameStop, social media actually does play a big role into these type of stock momentum squeezes. And when you're talking about Reddit, a lot of people are now forming a solid community around it. And I think in terms of the stock, have a nice rebound, in my opinion, we need a really specific, strong plan this week from Beyond Meat. We really need to see more confidence. And I know it sounds cliche, but I think that if we had new management, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, similar to, remember how the stock opened door, there was like CEO, new transition about the management side, and as well as more confidence, and on top of with big names such as Eric Jackson entering the scene. I think Beyond Meat needs more of that angle, and we can definitely see a bounce. So this is one that I recommend you watch. Next one will be AST. This one, again, same situation as Beyond Meat, is forming a nice bounce opportunity because this stock used to be a lot higher. If you go to the chart, this stock actually was close to $20. This was not long ago. This was about 2 months ago, and it's trading at $1.50 right now, which is a big psychological support level. So AST, the one thing that is better for the stock than Beyond Meat would be that this stock is doing what I said in the previous stock, which is that it's having big social media presence, such as Mike Alfred, as well as other people that are really standing behind the stock, right? And Vivek actually is also another one of those bigger names where he bought over $1 million of AST recently, right? And when you're talking about AST, there's several bullish catalysts for the stock, such as potential new customer wins or cost rationalization. There's other stocks that are similar to AST that have ended up making a lot bigger runs. So this is one I'm definitely monitoring as well. Next stock that you would have to watch would be GPUS. So GPUS Hyperscale Data. This is a stock that I mentioned in the past where after the stock was consolidating, actually ended up making a really nice move. You could check the chart itself. That was the time the stock went from, it was around 40 cents, 42 cents, and then ended up just gapping up to 72 cents. And right now it's right near that range. Actually, our bottom below that range is around 37 cents. It's kind of forming a consolidation type of pattern for GPUS. For this stock, there's definitely potential demand for the stock, right? We're talking about hyperscale GPU data center demand, right? AI deployment, the type of angle. And there's potentially catalyst for the stock as well, right? When you're talking about whether it's contracts or whether it's potential, the stock in the past talked about in the video, right? So this is one that I'm going to be monitoring. Ideally, I do want to see over 50 cent level. 50 cent is a big psychological level for the stock. It is quite far from it, but it's still, kind of flagging type of setup. So I'm going to be watching this GPA stock. Next one is IPW. So IPW, this is a really, really low float stock. It's around about 400,000 float, which is extremely small. The reason I'm mentioning that is because based on past history as well as what I think is going to happen for this winter, usually for small caps, the winter time, the low floats go really, really hard. And it's been like that since I started many years ago. And I anticipate it's going to be again, right? Because the winter is not even started yet, but you really want to be paying attention to this type of seasonality where these stocks that have, microfloat stocks under 5 million float could end up just making a really, really parabolic move. This is a online retail. It's a small cap and recently announced a 1-for-30 reverse split. Recently, October, right? This was just 2 weeks ago, approximately 2 weeks ago. So this is what I'm going to be watching. Next stock you got to watch will be BURU. So BURU actually has been setting up. If you look at the extended time frame, I know that this stock actually is on the more heavier side. If you look at the 1 hour chart, it's really not pulling away type of action. It's kind of just type of, it's like really being held down type of action, right? This is probably due because if you look at BURU stock, actually the float on this stock is definitely on the higher side. It's at over 100 million. And usually when a stock has higher than 30 million float, it could lead to more thicker type of price action. This stock definitely has potential catalyst though, if you look at the blue laser angle as well as industrial OEM contract angle potential. And there have been releasing press releases actually I announced. Remember I talked about the news this week. I believe they dropped 1 or 2 news this week. And this stock really didn't make a move, but I'm going to be monitoring this stock because lately these penny stocks have been really moving up a lot. These stocks under 50 cents has been really strong this past couple of weeks. So next stock is SG Sweetgreen. So Sweetgreen stock, this one actually had new restaurant openings, right? As well as menu innovation. This is a stock that is really kind of selling off. If you look at the chart, Sweetgreen has been just on a really strong downtrend, but recently it had a nice volume uptick, right? Look at this. You could look at the stock. This used to be a $45 stock. Is trading at $5 right now, approximately $5.80. And if it closes over that $5 level, this would be really interesting, right? Because this sector, these type of health, consumer restaurant type of companies, I'm interested in. Just this might be a personal bias, right? But this stock, if you look at the short flow, there's over 23% short flow. That's a really high short flow percentage in my opinion, as well as the market cap is not high at all. The market cap is not even 1 billion, right, for this restaurant type of stock. So you want to be watching this one. Next stock would be Hour. So Hour, this is the first time I'm making a video on this stock actually, but if you look at the sector it's in, what do you notice about the sector? This is a retail type of stock, right? And remember that time I talked about NEGG, the stock New Egg. I mentioned about the retail sector getting really hot towards the end of the year, right? If you look it up right now, the daily chart on NEGG, I talked about it. When it was around that consolidation phase, it's just completely pulled away now. It was around $48, and then look at it right now. It's trading over 90. It's at 93. It tapped 93 at the high. So retail stocks, you gotta watch, guys. This actually has potential Amazon as well as Walmart angle as well, right? And I would not be surprised if they release news where they put in Amazon or something, and then it ends up, just going. So if you look up our stock actually on the float data, right? Float data for the stock is not even 2 million. It's like 1 million something. And remember I talked about early in the video, right? These stocks that have these micro floats. I'm telling you, winter time, you're gonna see these low floaters going, So this one actually expansion as well, right, to Walmart. So this is what I'm going to be watching. Next one, FEMY. So FEMY is pretty much a medical device company focused on women's health. This stock has been getting a lot accumulation type of pattern. Remember, if I talked about the last video, right, these bio stocks, a lot of the times you're going to see accumulation type of pattern, whether it's from big money or whether it's from these people that have, in my opinion, information, right? So if you look at the stock right now, the daily chart looks really nice in my opinion. It's finally over that 90-cent level that I've been talking about. It's over $1, which is a really big psychological level. And on top of that, they have potential multiple catalysts, right? If you look at, it's not just the FDA potential, where if you look at the sector itself, women's health has been getting a lot of attention this year, in my opinion. And we do need more attention on that, right? So when you're talking about clinical data releases as well as on top of the fact that FEMY is a former big runner. I remember the stock in the past. The stock used to run for multiple days, which is why I mentioned on Twitter, as well as on StockTwits, right? This is a potential multi-day candidate. But again, for these bio stocks, dilution could be a factor. So I highly recommend, if you're swing trading any bio stock, always check the shelf, check potentially the fundamental factors as well, right? But in terms of technical chart, this stock definitely is looking nice, right? In my opinion. So next stock is Cemtrex. So CETX. This is the same type of angle as the stock I talked about just recently, right? I believe it was Hour. So this is a stock that is in the industrial sector, industrial technology type of stock. And the float on this stock is really low as well. I'm just going to double check, but I remember the stock, I believe, did a reverse split. And when you're talking about stocks with that reverse split, is really important, because what ends up happening when a stock does a reverse split is that the float gets really, really thin. If you don't know what that means, that's basically when it doesn't take a lot of volume for it to really just rip several dollars a share. For example, let's say a stock is $6 post-reverse split. It only has like 500K float. Even just, in my opinion, one person, if they buy a lot, the stock could end up just ripping $5 a share. This is just my opinion, because I've seen in the past, right? These reverse split stocks, they move really quick. So this is what I'm going to be watching. For example, they had reported Q3 revenue growth actually for 2025. Next stock, last stock for the video actually would be Raya. So Raya, this is again, really thin stock. And this has about 800K float, which is really small. Again, if you want to remember what float stock is low, anything under 30 million would be low float, in my opinion. This is just my personal experience, because I've been focusing, like my specialty is low float stock, any stock under 30 million float. So if something is under even 1 million, that's really catches my eye, right? So this has 800K float. And this stock, again, is in that thin sector, right? So if you made it to the end of the video, guys, I appreciate you, studying as well, right? I do my best to make videos to help people out. And I know for sure, guarantee there's people out there that really want to do better right, in terms of trading, as well as myself. I'm learning every day as well. So I think that we're going to have a really great week next week. This is just my honest opinion, right? There's going to be a lot of big runners. So again, if you're not part of the team, I recommend become a YouTube member, as well as I'm going to be seeing you guys on the morning time Monday, right? I hope people have a relaxing weekend and have a great weekend, guys. I'll see you Monday. Have a great night.